It's time to shake off the dust of mediocrity and ignite the fire within you. Inside each of us is a sleeping lion. A beast of potential, of raw power, of unstoppable determination. But for too many of us, that lion has been domesticated, tamed by society's expectations, muzzled by our own fears and doubts. Well, I'm here to tell you, it's time to let that lion out of its cage. Now, you might be thinking, but I'm not a lion. I'm just an ordinary person trying to make it through the day. That's exactly what the world wants you to believe. That's what keeps you small, keeps you quiet, keeps you from reaching for the stars. You're extraordinary. You are capable of greatness beyond your wildest dreams. And it all starts with turning on your lion mode. What do I mean by lion mode? It's that state of mind where you are fully alive, fully present, fully committed to your goals. It's when you stop making excuses and start making progress. It's when you refuse to settle for less than you deserve. Think about a real lion for a moment. Does a lion wake up in the morning and think, oh, I hope I catch an antelope today? No. A lion wakes up knowing it's going to eat. It does not hope, it hunts. It does not wish. And that, my friends, is exactly what you need to do in your life. Now, I can already hear some of you saying, but I'm not confident enough. I do not have the skills. I do not have the resources. Let me do if you want to turn on your lion mode and roar louder. Now, I can already hear some of you thinking, but what if I fail? What if I make a fool of myself? What if things do not work out the way I want them to? Well, let me tell you failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every successful person you admire has failed multiple times. But here's what sets them apart. They did not let failure stop them. They used it as a stepping stone. They learned from it, they grew from it, and they came back stronger. Failure is not a person, it's an event. It's not who you are. It's something that happens. And when you embrace that mindset, failure loses its power over you. Instead of being something to fear, it becomes a valuable teacher. So I want you to make a promise to yourself right now. Promise that you will stop being afraid of failure. Promise that you will start seeing it as feedback, as a sign that you are pushing yourself, that you are growing, that you are alive. The only real failure in life is the failure to try. Everything else is just a learning experience. Absolutely crucial if you want to turn on your lion mode. Your environment. Lions do not thrive in cages. They need wide open spaces, they need challenges, they need the opportunity to hunt and grow and roar. And you are no different. If you want to unleash your inner lion, you need to create an environment that supports your growth. You need to surround yourself with people who believe in you, who challenge you, who inspire you to be better. Take a look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are they lions or are they lambs? Are they dreamers or doubters? Are they action takers or excuse makers? Because I will tell you right now, you will become the average of those 5 people. If you are serious about success, if you are committed to turning on your lion mode, you need to be ruthless about the company you keep. Seek out the winners, the go-getters, the positive thinkers. Distance yourself from the negative influences, the dream stealers, the people who try to keep you small because your growth makes them uncomfortable. Remember, your life is too important to let toxic people poison it. You wouldn't let someone pour poison into your water, so why would you let them pour negativity into your mind? Now, I'm not saying you should cut people out of your life entirely, but you do need to be something that you have been telling yourself you are not ready for, and then take one action towards that goal today. Right after this speech, it does not have to be big. It just has to be something. Maybe it's making that phone call you've been avoiding. Maybe it's signing up for that class you've been thinking about. Maybe it's writing the first page of that book you have always wanted to write. Whatever it is, do it. Take that first step. Because once you do, you will realize that the hardest part was not doing it. It was deciding to do it. Motivation is great. It gets you started. But discipline is what keeps you going when motivation fades. And make no mistake, motivation will fade. There will be days when you do not feel like working towards your goals. Days when you'd rather stay in bed or watch TV or do anything but the hard work of pursuing your dreams. But here's the thing. Lions do not have the luxury of only hunting when they feel like it. They hunt because they must. And if you want to achieve great things, you need to adopt that same mentality. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It's about showing up day after day, even when you do not see immediate results. It's about staying committed to your goals, even when the path gets tough. Now, I know discipline can sound like a dirty word. It can sound like punishment, like deprivation. But let me tell you discipline is freedom. It's the freedom to achieve your goals, to become the person you want to be, to live the life you have always dreamed of. When you are disciplined about your health, you have the freedom to enjoy your body well into your later years. When you are disciplined about your finances, you have the freedom to make choices that are not dictated by money worries. When you are disciplined about your personal growth, you have the freedom to take on new challenges and opportunities. Discipline is not about restricting yourself. It's about empowering yourself. It's about taking control of your life instead of letting life control you. It's about being proactive rather than reactive. Now, I know building discipline is not easy. It's like a muscle. It takes time and consistent effort to develop. But the good news is, just like a muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. So how do you build discipline? You start small. You set clear, specific goals for yourself. You create routines and habits that support those goals. And most importantly, you hold yourself accountable. Let's say you want to write a book. That's a big goal. It can feel overwhelming. But what if you committed to writing just 500 words every day? That's doable, right? If you stick to that day in and day out, guess what? In just 200 days, you'd have a 100,000 word manuscript. That's the power of discipline. It turns the impossible into the inevitable. It turns dreams into reality. You have to be consistent. You cannot be a lion one day and a kitten the next. You have to show up every single day, ready to roar, ready to hunt, ready to conquer. And yes, there will be days when you fall short. Days when you miss your target. But that's okay, because discipline is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about getting back up when you fall, about recommitting to your goals even when you have had a setback. Remember, every great achievement in history was the result of discipline. The pyramids weren't built in a day. The greatest works of art weren't created in a single burst of inspiration. They were the result of consistent, disciplined effort over time. So I challenge you. Choose one area of your life where you want to improve. Maybe it's your health, your relationships, your career. And then commit to taking one small, disciplined action in that area every single day for the next 30 days. It might be doing 10 push-ups every morning. It might be calling a loved one every day. It might be reading 10 pages of a book in your field. Whatever it is, commit to it, make it non-negotiable, and watch what happens. Small, consistent actions, compounded over time, lead to massive results. That's how you turn on your lion mode. That's how you create lasting change in your life. Lions do not settle for scraps. They go after the best prey. And if you want to achieve greatness in your life, you need to set high standards for yourself. Too many people are living lives of quiet desperation. They are settling for less than they deserve. less than they are capable of. They are letting their circumstances dictate their standards instead of letting their standards You have to actively seek it out. You have to be willing to learn, to ask questions, to put yourself out there. Identify one person in your life who inspires you, who's achieved the kind of success you are striving for, and then reach out to them. Ask them for coffee, for a quick chat, for any nugget of wisdom they are willing to share. You might be surprised at how willing successful people are to help others. Because true success is not just about personal achievement. It's about lifting others up along the way. Your commitment to excellence. Lions do not half-heartedly chase their prey. They give it their all every single time. And that's exactly what you need to do in every area of your life. Excellence is not about being the best. It's about doing your best. It's about bringing your A game to everything you do, whether it's your work, your relationships, or your personal growth. Too many people are settling for mediocrity. They are doing just enough to get by, just enough to not get fired, just enough to maintain the status quo. But let me tell you something, mediocrity is it's the enemy of greatness. When you commit to excellence, something magical happens. You start to stand out. You start to get noticed. Opportunities start to come your way because excellence is rare and the world rewards those who pursue it. Think about it. When you go to a restaurant, what makes you want to come back? It's not just good food. It's excellent service, attention to detail, and overall exceptional experience. The same principle applies in every area of life. Commit to excellence in everything you do. If you are going to do something, do it right. Give it your all. Put your heart and soul into it, because anything worth doing is worth doing well. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but I'm not excellent at everything. And that's okay. Excellence is not about being perfect. It's about giving your best effort, about constantly striving to improve. It's like polishing a diamond. When you first start, it might be rough and dull, but with consistent effort, with a commitment to excellence, it starts to shine. And before you know it, you have created something truly valuable, truly beautiful. Remember, excellence is not an act, but a habit. It's something you cultivate over time through consistent effort and dedication. It's about doing the little things right day in and day out. So start small. where you can go. You have the power to write the next chapter of your life story. Stop making excuses. Stop blaming others. Take full responsibility for your life, the good, the bad, and everything in between. Because when you do, something magical happens. You reclaim your power to change things. Instead of saying, I cannot because, start saying, how can I? Instead of focusing on what you cannot control, focus on what you can control. Your attitude, your effort, your responses to what happens to you.